It is that time. Once again. Are you ready? 'Cause I am. How's everybody doing? My name is Joseph, and today is December 30th, 2020, and I am in California, and it is coming up on 10:30 p.m. This is my second attempt here. I just streamed an hour and then realized the microphone wasn't on. And I pressed it, but I guess I didn't press the button hard enough, and thought I was streaming. I didn't check. I am streaming with sound, though. Probably for the best. I was a little heated, a little perturbed as I began my stream. Just my personal situation. I don't even want to go into it. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I was meant to redo this stream. So here I am. How are you guys all doing? I hope well. I hope you're smiling about something. Good to smile. So 7 billion plus people. How many make it to the Great Reset? That's being planned. That's the question for the day. You might hear my neighbor cruising around upstairs. He likes to do that. That's what kind of got me going earlier. Not the walking, but something else. So yeah, 7 billion plus people in the world right now. And of those, how many do you see making it through to the Great Reset that's being planned? I'm going to be honest. I would say my dream is everyone. Excuse me. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I just don't see it. This world is crazy. Right now, it's insane. And they let this guy know that earlier, too. Insanity. Because it is. Up is down, and down is up, which I'm intelligent enough to know doesn't make sense. That's not how it works. Everything's flipped upside down right now. I'm sitting, by the way. I decided to sit because I was standing for an hour. And I want to stream. I have my thoughts that I want to share. So here I am doing it again. It's going to be better than before. I'm going to keep checking that mic. I just know it. Thinking it's not on. Music's on. Mic's on. So yeah, I just don't see it. I don't know if it's because people don't care or they just don't know what to do. And so they use that as their reasoning for just allowing it to be the way it is. The reason it's the way it is because we allow it to be the way that it is. Like today in New York City, I saw a video of a bunch of youth just stomping on a car that was at an intersection, I believe. Unreal. Just, I mean, it's just totally, you would never, ever, at least me, imagine that that would take place in this day and age. I never, because the police, where are the police? Where are the police? Aren't the police supposed to do something? They don't. And the people that are being attacked, because they are, you're being attacked. You can't do anything. Because if you do anything and it winds up hurting one of the people attacking you, you become the guilty party. You caused it. How dare you defend your life? And the police, they don't go and arrest these people. I didn't see anything about the people that did that being dealt with. You don't wear a mask, though, out in public, into a store or wherever, and the cops will come. What is wrong? What is wrong? Right now, there's not many people that are going to make it through this. There just isn't. There's not enough of people that have come together to steer the course in a different direction. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I talk to people here and there, and while they can see what's going on, they don't, there's no gumption to do anything. It's like, that's government. Like, nah, you don't get it. You just absolutely don't get it. This is unreal. So, I heard that within this COVID bill, there's wording in it that talks about disclosure. UFOs. Go figure. You know, I guess on one hand it makes sense. I mean, because the whole that whole stimulus thing is just outrageous. So this is just par for the course. There's actually supposed to be, I haven't gone, because I just heard this a little earlier, and I'm going to go check it out. But that within this bill, there's some wording that has to do with UFO disclosure. You know how the Navy's been kind of putting stuff out there over the last few years. Even the Pentagon has made their comments. I know that, I don't know, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? They had a meeting of Congress people. Not all of them, just certain people they met, and the topic of discussion was UFOs. Now, I don't I don't see UFOs as being aliens from other worlds. I used to. I prefer extraterrestrial myself, or beings, not aliens. But I don't think that anymore. That's not to say that I think we're alone. I've been saying in these streams that from time to time I talk about this presence, intelligence that's here. It's here right now. It's always been here. It's never left. There's nowhere else for it to go but to be here where it's always been. It's on another level. I was listening, or I have listened to one of the hosts on over at the Alex Jones Network, band.video. He's doing the early morning show now. But I've heard him a couple times talk about UFOs, and he poo-poos it, but he doesn't really go in depth into it. And that was one thing that I didn't connect with him on. It's like, why even talk about what he's talking about, especially on that show. But today, a little while ago, I watched a clip. It had to do with this whole, partly had to do with this COVID and the bill and this UFO disclosure, because somebody called up to talk about UFOs, which you don't get that very often on any of the shows over there on band.video. So that was interesting. And I get where that person was coming from, the caller that was bringing COVID into all, because I've been on that kind of mindset too. And in some ways I may have tried to express that in a stream or two that I've done, that there seems to be this connection with what's going on with the COVID and everything, and UFOs disclosure, whatever the government plans to do. I feel like many do, that there's going to be a false alien presence. I don't know how they're going to play that out. I mean, the technology's there. I don't know how good it is, but I've seen some pretty impressive stuff that they do with the holograms and all that good stuff. I think they have Project Moonbeam, the government, that has to do with that kind of stuff, being able to project an image. So some people, a lot of people, because I know I'm one, think that, if they're putting this kind of these kinds of talking points into this bill, it's because they're planning. It's coming. They're going to do something that gives the impression that you're not alone, and it's probably going to be you're not alone, and you wish you were, because you don't want to have any interaction with whatever this is. I think that's the whole point. It's to scare the people, make them fall in line like they've been doing over the course of this virus ordeal. I don't know, what do you think? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Like I said, I used to believe there the possibility that there's life out there, and there may be. Who am I can't definitively say whether there is or isn't. I know that for me, I've come to certain determinations. If there were life out there, I don't see them coming here in ships. I think because I have a pretty good grasp on what the universe is, space, just infinite, and the distances, that you almost have to defy the laws of physics if you were going to actually truly productively move throughout the universe. So I've been feeling for the last few years that if that were the situation, they're not here. Not in ships. If they are here, it's something else. It's something else. It's another dimension, parallel world. That kind of scenario. And it's always been here. And I think that if there were beings throughout the universe, that the ones that actually grow up, they move into these other dimensions, and that's how they move. Here is there, here is everywhere, in that state of mind. And I know it sounds impossible. Oh, that's science fiction. You know, I think I've gotten to a point where I'm tired of people that have that kind of sentiment that, you know, oh, it's just science fiction. You know, I don't know what world you've been living on. But there's a lot that in just my short lifetime that I've seen that I trip out on. Just, wow, everything's just progressing so fast, the technology. UFO disclosure. Yeah. I think 2 years ago was when I really shifted my whole mindset away from the whole, because it's just too crazy. I mean, you got the government, you got all these people out there that research UFOs, and a lot of them believe that the government is in cahoots with aliens. They have conversations with aliens, and we have bases on the moon or Mars or both, or who knows where else. And we presently send soldiers there, personnel. I couldn't get on that page. It just didn't resonate with me. And I began to feel like, you know, there is a presence here. There is. I don't doubt that. An intelligence. And I felt like this presence was beyond our universe. You know, it had nothing to do with life on another planet. The presence that I was resonating with is beyond the universe. God. That's what I always settle with. God, because that's the easiest way for me to understand with the best of my ability as a human to understand God. God is an intelligence. And I think that in this modern day and age, I think that it would behoove people to see that, to look at God in... Too many people, they picture God, I think, sitting on a throne. They picture the old days, the chariots, and That was for that time. I don't live in that day and age. I live now, 2020, and we're very advanced in comparison to way back then. Science fiction. What was science fiction becomes fiction, or becomes reality. It just seems like that. I mean, more and more. It starts with science fiction, but then there's people out there that think about it, and I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna do it, and they do. As far as government and aliens, government it has no clue what this is, what's going on. I don't think the government has any clue. I think they want to know. Who wouldn't? Whether it's good or bad, I want to know. And so does the government. The government doesn't know. Why would they go to the government? What does this government do for the people? It's got a history of lying. Cheating, stealing. Government's done some pretty hellacious things. This government that I'm under, the United States, it's done some pretty hellacious things to its own people by intention. That's the scary part. So why would an intelligent race, if you want to see them in the plural, why would they want to have anything to do with a government that conducts its way in such a there's just so many words. I'm trying to keep cool about it because this is so wrong. This government, all governments, nobody has a clue. We're all winging it. We're all trying to figure this out. Nobody knows. And you want to know. It frustrates you. Jacques Vallée, he's written many books on the topic of UFOs, and he's a computers. I don't know what kind of degree he has. He's like science. He's the guy from Close Encounters, the French guy that is in that movie. He's modeled after Jacques Vallée, who has been around for a number of decades, since the 70s. I think he was putting out books. Anyways, he says he feels that whatever this is, it's not physical in the sense that we perceive physical. It's beyond the physical. It's like this dimensional thing. Now, whether it's good or bad, now that's the question. That's the big question: is it good or bad? I think that that's all gonna come down to you, each of us individually. I see this intelligence. If you were, let's just say you were to be with this intelligence, you can't be here. You can't be here. It's like with this intelligence, you don't see this intelligence isn't here. And it's the same thing. If you were to be with this intelligence, it would have to be an existence that's beyond this. That's something I don't think a lot of people are ready for. They don't want to let go. And I'm not saying to let go. I'm saying just be sure before you make any determination. I think too many people have already preconceived ideas, and it doesn't matter what comes along that may dispel that notion, they will hold on to it. It's Perrier. I don't know if you could see that or not. I know it's a green bottle, so people might think I'm drinking or something. I'm not drinking. I don't drink. Rarely. It's been quite a while since I had any alcohol. And it's not something I think about doing. Okay. What did I talk about in the stream that will never be aired because I didn't have the mic on? I know I talked about Pelosi. Didn't want to, but I was already kind of frustrated with what was going on, or had gone on, with the dude upstairs and people. And so I'm thinking about her and the things that she's doing. She just rubs me wrong. And it's probably good I didn't have the mic on and I had to redo it, because I was just going off on Mrs. Pelosi. And it's not like I just get that way. I have to. It's all through provocation. I've been provoked into feeling the way that I feel. I mean, that woman has said things like she wants to drag Trump by the hair and pull him out, drag him out of the White House. And when I saw that, I thought, you are a nasty, wicked woman. You really are. I felt like it. And see, here's the double standard, because she can say that kind of a thing and it's okay. But if I were to say, well, okay, I have my feelings towards you, and while I don't want to drag you by the hair, I wouldn't mind stepping into the ring with you. Put your gloves on. I'm serious. That woman is not, that's a demon. Wicked, evil, in my mind. It's what I think. And I don't just think that. I have seen her talking and the things that she texts out or puts out there, and I'm just, no, you're just something's wrong with you, Aiden. There's something wrong with all the people that keep voting you into office, because you don't care about the people as a whole. I mean, I'm sure you got your select group that just love you to pieces, but on the whole, you don't care about the people. I mean, how can you say you don't when you said screw the people when it came to this stimulus? You did, and that's from out of your own mouth, pretty much. I mean, I'm putting my spin on it, but it all comes out the same in the end. You didn't want to pass the stimulus. You've been stalling on it, and you made that clear. I mean, this is what she's saying. She didn't want the stimulus. She stalled it out until after the election because she didn't want it to be seen as like a good thing on Trump's part. Just something wrong with you. You're old, I know. You are. Grandma. I wouldn't want you for my grandma. Just saying. You probably feel the same about me. You don't want me as your grandson. And I know why. Because I stand for righteousness and you don't. You absolutely don't. How dare you to do that to the people that you have been entrusted to take care of business? How could you do that? See, in my mind, a sane, caring human mind wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. Because it's not the right thing to do. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal. Everything just is so bizarre, crazy, insane. And all I know is I don't know what's going to come of this whole presidency thing. I know a lot of people, I got the impression from looking at a couple of MSNBC YouTube posts, which I never do, but for today I did for some reason. The title, I guess, caught my eye. But I didn't watch the video. I just went through the comments, and I was just blown away at where people are and what they think. I mean, it's discouraging. It is. Yeah, you can't help but feel a little sense of hopelessness. Impossible to fix. And the hardest part of it is that it doesn't make sense, because we're talking about being a human. Grown up, civilized. Right now, I'm not seeing any of that. I am so down on the world right now, what's going on in it, and the people and how they're dealing with it. And like I said last night, everybody needs to be on the streets, out in the streets, bringing everything to a stop, because that will make the system notice you, look at you. You will be heard. Believe me. I mean, if everybody in a city, just take one city. Just start with one city and just everybody goes out. You get them to go out. Why? To be noticed, to be acknowledged, to be heard. You can't do that if you're going to hide in your room. You get everybody standing together, you can't miss them. What are they all doing out there? That's what I think we need to be doing. It's a beginning. It's peaceful. That's all you're doing. Gathering. Not to rape, pillage, and destroy. I mean, this country should be ashamed of itself. It really should. To think that it is allowing what has been going on over the past year, and to not address it. And to have this two-edged sword with everything. It's one half gets to do whatever they want, and the other half, Well, And when I say that, I'm flashing back to all these younger people, males. I think they were all males. I don't know how many, 10, 15, maybe even more. Just going at this car, breaking the windshield, pounding on the windows, stomping on the vehicle, jumping up and down. I'm like, you go. That's like something you would think you would see in a movie, and you could sit with it knowing that, well, it's a movie. That wouldn't happen in real life. They would do something about that. The cops would come out and take care of business. No, not anymore. Not these days. That's why I know the end is coming. Because I don't see good beginnings coming out of what's taking place. It's slowly dying, this life that we have here in this country. And the people are letting it. Not everybody. The great majority are. They're just, like I said last night, they're too busy checking their bank account, seeing if they got their stimulus check, and they're making plans. Not everybody. Some people really need that money. It's going to pay for the rent or put some food in their belly that they wouldn't have had. But I can see easily a good number of people that there's just no logic in their methodology when it comes to doing things, being responsible. I shared last night what my thoughts were on the whole 600 stimulus. It's a joke. How they come up with these numbers, who knows? And this latest round of stimulus is an absolute F you in your face. It is. It's clear they don't care. Trump early on, shortly after that first stimulus went out, made it very clear that he felt there needs to be another one. And it needs to be bigger. And what do we get? We got $600. I understand they're still debating it there in the Senate. Good old Mitch McConnell. He's up in the same boat as Nancy Pelosi. They should go take a permanent vacation, retire, maybe have an affair, because I think it would make sense. Just because they just, both of them are not right in their minds. Mitch McConnell. Grandpa. You're old, bro. You are. You should think about retiring. Enjoying what little life you have left. Like I said, go do it with Nancy. I'd like to see that. Because she definitely needs to take a vacation. Enough of her. That woman is wicked. Absolutely wicked. And I said this last night. I even said it in the stream I did an hour ago, that I would love to debate with her. Get up at a podium with her at another podium and just go at it and let her know what I think and why I think. It's not that whenever I share a feeling I have, I always try my best to explain why I have that feeling. And it just didn't come out of the blue. Again, provocation. Everything that we do is based on something prior to that carries us onward. That woman. At least I brought Mitch into it. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I think they're not They're not where they should be. They both have their plans, and they need to both be on the same plan. I mean, they can come at it from different angles, but it needs to be one plan. Democrats. I used to see myself as a Democrat when I was younger. When I was very younger, like in high school, I saw myself as a Republican. I wanted the American dream. I wanted it all. I mean, who doesn't? You know, I wanted to have a comfortable life, big house, nice car, and all those things. Anyway, after I got out of high school and got out into the world, getting your own place. I was young, 18, 19, renting an apartment and dealing with responsibilities. You grow up and see things a little bit differently than you did when you were younger. And I shifted into Democrats, but over the years I've seen the Democrats are not what I thought they were. Not anymore. I mean, I liked Jimmy Carter. I didn't have any problems with Jimmy Carter. I mean, I didn't see anything scandalous about him as far as being a president. But all these other Democrat presidents that came after, you know, you have Clinton and I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And then everything that's come out since, as far as the Clintons go. Then you have Obama, which at first I didn't have a problem with Obama because Obama was saying things. But then once he got elected, it didn't take long for me to realize who the man was. You know, they all these politicians make promises that they never intend to keep. I think that's why with Trump, that's the only reason I have been pro-Trump, is that I see Trump as his own person. He's not coming into this as a job, like that's his career. Like all these others, that's their career. And I have seen enough to realize that it's corrupt. All the deal making that goes on, all the money, it's all money. Everything is money. So I was glad Trump got in. I've always felt that Trump, I always saw Trump as a means for the people to have a little bit longer to get ready for what's coming, which we're now coming into it right now. We've been kind of in the beginnings of it when this virus thing came onto the scene. But I always saw Trump as postponing this plan that these people, elite, global, whatever you want to call them, sick minds, selfish. I saw him as giving us a little bit more time. I saw Clinton. If Clinton had gone in, to me it's like the same thing we're seeing right now with Biden. If he gets in, it's the end. Absolutely is. That man is clueless. And his son, Hunter, and his laptop. It's just so disgusting. And I've shared this with some people. Some people are like, well, that's Joe Biden's his own person. You know, you can't put his son on Joe, and I'm just not of that same camp. There's got to be some sense of responsibility, because his son was nobody when he was born. He was nobody. He didn't know who he was or what he was. And as he spent his childhood with Daddy molded him. We all do this. We all grow up and are a reflection of our parents. And then when you move out of the house, you begin to mold and create your own sense of you in relation to your parents. His parents are full on responsible. Hunter Biden, his parents are responsible for who he is. Especially when I'm hearing talks of Joe Biden's daughter and her diary, which apparently is out there, and it made it into the public to some degree. I haven't looked heavily into that, other than I've watched a couple of streams where people are talking about it, and that she doesn't deny it. That's what they were saying, that she's publicly said, yeah, that's my diary. And she's talking, from her childhood. She has lots of questions, just things that went on, family interaction, I guess, the way they acted with each other. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I think there's enough out there, though, that it really confuses me to think that that's the person that the people want in office. I mean, the laptop is disgusting. I don't understand why that hasn't become that should be a huge thing. As far as I'm concerned, Hunter Biden should be in prison. If what's on this laptop is on this laptop, and many people have come forward to say that it's on the laptop, then he needs to be in prison. But it doesn't matter anymore. You don't go to prison anymore. I mean, you can jump on somebody's car, damage it, break the windows, and this is all while the people are in the car, and nothing happens to you. Break into buildings and loot, and nothing happens. Especially if you're Black Lives Matter, Antifa. Yeah. You know why I think everybody needs to go and stand out in the street? Because then I would know who you are. Because while you're not out there in the streets, I feel like you're hiding. You're in denial. Yeah. You guys keep hoping for those UFOs to land. They're going to save us all, right? It's all going to be good. Again, I'm going to just say it again. Why? What do you have to offer to a superior intelligence, an advanced intelligence? Clearly, if we're talking about aliens or whatever coming here from somewhere outside of here, why would they come here? I think I don't want to go there. I think a lot of things. I'm glad I had to restream. I was a little out there in the last one. But I'm feeling like I'm getting tired. I can't take it anymore. This is just stupid and ridiculous, ludicrous, absurd, everything that's going on right now. It's like I have very little faith left in people. That's scary. Because I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like people are going to wake up. Speaking of which, they need to wake up. They need to wake up right now. Then stand up. And then speak up. Because you're not going to have much longer to do so. It's already being taken away from you right now. All the censorship that's going on. And the media, biased as it is, giving you one side, not the whole picture. How rotten is that? And then to watch these people up there just spreading it out, and you can tell they feel good about themselves as they're doing it. And are insistent that I and many others are the ones with the problem, that don't see correctly. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. People like that are why the world's dying. Lying and cheating. Telling lies. That's... You gotta tell the truth. I'm big on that. Gotta tell the truth. Anything less than that is useless. And leads to a state of affairs such as we have right now. I hope you guys are going to DC on the 6th. I think that's very important to be there on the 6th when they count the electoral votes and make it official. That's why the people are going to DC. That's why they're being called to go to DC, is to stand up and let the people that are counting these votes, to let the world know, hey, wait a minute, I'm here and I have a say in this. Something stinks in this election. And I think that it deserves to be explored and examined, to be fair. Isn't that what everything in this country it's about fairness, equality? I'm telling you, that's why it's no more. All of that's gone. And I don't see it coming back. Not in this current version that we're in. Like I said last night, I'm not a proponent of the Great Reset, the one that's being planned by various political world leaders, but I am pro-reset. I firmly and wholeheartedly believe that that is necessary. And I know what most people don't want to stretch their brain to that point, because you got to let go of all this to be able to start over, to reset, and people don't want to do that. But I do believe in a reset. I just don't concur with the reset that's being planned, this great reset by these various leaders. Well, I think I'm going to call this stream finished. Didn't quite get everything I wanted out there. Again, I bummed that I talked for an hour and didn't have the mic on. That's the second time I've done that too. I haven't done it in a while, but I did it tonight. But tomorrow at some point, I will come back and share my thoughts, feelings, and give testimony. Till then, be well and smile. Gots to smile. You look good when you smile, I think. I've never looked at somebody with a smile and thought, ooh. Till next time, be well.